Hey guys, it's Alyssa here, and today I shall be talking about all of the series that I still need to read. So I believe I did one of these videos a couple years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, but I kind of want to do an updated, more in-depth one. This is going to not just be the books that I have on my physical TBR, it's going to be just also books that I don't own. So to kind of explain how I'm going to split this video up, the first two big categories are owned and then unowned, and then from there the three categories that I split it into are need to start. So that means I have a pretty good idea, or I either own it or I have a pretty good idea that I'm gonna attempt to start it for sure. The second category is need to catch up on, which means that the series is unfinished and they're currently still writing books and I need to catch up to it. And then the last category is finish, which means that I could have read the first book in the series, but all the books in the series are out and therefore I need to finish it. First, we're going to go over the physical books that I own, and then we'll talk about all the ones that I do not own. The other thing is that I'm only including books that have been released. I'm not going to include books that are not out, because that would just make the list way longer and kind of more confusing, because I do add things to my Goodreads TBR shelf that I might want to check out, that I might want to look more into once it's released, but I wouldn't consider, okay, I definitely want to read that. That's all the explanation. Let's just jump right into it. So for the first category, which is need to start, the first book that I have is The Dry by Jane Harper. This is a thriller, I know that much, thriller mystery, and I think it already has a sequel. I don't know how long the series is gonna be, how ongoing it is, but I recently just bought this. I do know there are already two out, so we'll see. And the only other series that I need to start all the way from the beginning that I own is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is another series. I don't know how long it's supposed to be. I know they just announced the title for the third book. The second one just came out at the end of last year. Next category is series that I need to catch up on. The next two books that I have are in the same series, and that is Princess Between Worlds and The Princess and the Pearl. And the last book in that category for books that I own is Restore Me by Tahiti Mafi. I'm still ashamed I haven't read this. I'm so hoping I can get to it before the next book comes out, because otherwise I'm gonna look like some real trash. Hopefully soon. Hopefully. But this is the fourth book in the Shatter Me series. The last category is series that I need to finish that I own. And the first one is, I'm gonna include both of them because they are technically in the same series, but I only really need to finish one to be considered to finish the series, but I'm going to read both of them, and that is Winter and Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. The next one is a book that is one of those situations where the series ended and then the author released another book in that series, similar to Shatter Me, and that is The Frog Princess Returns by Edie Baker. I do not know where in the series this happens. I need to look more into that, but it did get released and I do need to read it. The next book that I need to finish the series is Bitter Blue by Kristen Cashore. This is the last book in the Graceling realm series. I read Fire last year and Graceling at the very end of 2017. Absolutely loved Fire. Also really liked Graceling, and I just really want to read this. And the last series that I own that I need to finish is The Rest, books 2 through 6 of the Anne of Green Gables series. I have Anne of Avonlea, Anne of the Island, Anne of Windy Poplars, Anne's House of Dreams, and Anne of Ingleside. So that is it for all the books that I physically own. Now on to the books that I do not. And again, this isn't necessarily like all of the ones on my Goodreads TBR that I don't own. These are just ones that I know I definitely want to get to. So for the first category of need to start, this technically is a little confusing. It's in a universe, but it's part of a new duology, and that is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. The next is The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making wow, I said all of that without looking at a script, by Catherine M. Valenti. I have been wanting to start this series for so long, and hopefully this year I will do that. I just really want to get to it. The next one is a series, actually probably the oldest series on this list that I have been needing to get to, been wanting to get to, but have not started. And that is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. I have had my eye on this since it got originally released so many years ago, and I still have not read it, and I just really want to. I don't know if I'll like it. I don't know if it'll stand up anymore. It's quite a few years old now since it like completely ended, but at this point, it's been on my list for so long, I need to still give it an earnest shot because it's one of the very few books that has remained in my TBR purges. So, hoping this is the year I finally get to it. And the last one for this category is A Curious Beginning by, oh my god, I forget the author's name. Rayborn. I'll put the title, put the book here. I actually own the second book. I don't own the first book. That's why I'm technically considering it in the unowned category, because I don't own the first book, so I couldn't start it. But yeah, this is like a historical fiction mystery setting-ish, I want to say. Just really love the covers, very pretty, and I really wish I could remember the author's name, but I don't, so here it is. Next category, which is series that I need to catch up on. The first one is Mr. Lemoncello's Great Library Race. I think that's what the third one is called. I have read the first two in this. I read them both for Borrow-a-thon. I'll probably read the third one for the next round of Borrow-a-thon. I love this series. It's a very cute, fun, middle grade series. I think they just announced the title of the fourth book, but it's not out yet. But I'm very excited to continue with it. Next series is Lumberjane. I am currently up to volume 10 in this. I love Lumberjanes. It's one of my favorite graphic novel series. I love looking at it. It's one of the most visually appealing ongoing series that I read, and I just really have a soft spot in my heart. My current new library that I just moved into actually has all of the editions that I was missing from my old library, so now I can catch up and hopefully stay current and all that, because I just love this series. The next book is Princess Before Dawn by Edie Baker. This is the book after the other two that I showed you in the Tales of a Wide Awake Princess series. The next two are Squirrel Girl volumes 8 and 9. I recently, near the end of 2018, caught back up with Squirrel Girl, and it's one of my favorite graphic novel series. I love it so much. It's so much fun, and it's always a riot to read. As the next one, I put very generically the Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novel series. The only one that I have read is The Promise Part 1 and 2, so I need to catch up on that. And if you have not read them yet and you've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, I cannot recommend them enough. They pick up right where the show left off, and it's such a fun time. And the last one in this category is The Wicked King by Holly Black. Yeah, I actually started this book, but I haven't finished it yet just because I kind of got lazy and slumpy. Not from the book's fault, I just didn't want to read it. So hopefully within the next couple months I'll pick it back up. And for the last category, which is Finish, I only actually have one series on there, and that is the Neapolitan series by Elena Ferrante. I just finished the first book, spoiler into what I read in February, but I just finished My Brilliant Friend, and now I have the rest of the 3 to read. I actually own My Brilliant Friend. It's right there, but I don't own the rest of them. Eventually I'll buy them, but I don't know if I will own them before I read them. So that is it for all of my unfinished, need to catch up on, and series that I really need to start. Let me know if you've read any of these, some of the ones that I haven't started yet, if you think I need to prioritize. I love knowing that information. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. if you want to, you can go ahead and subscribe. I try to post a new video every week, and my social media is also down there as well if you want to give me a follow or whatever. If you want, it's whatever. And that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope I shall see you in the next one. Bye.